Hey team, I hope you all are doing well. Man, I'm getting some great questions from you guys. So today's topic is how to run a sub 36 10K. So running 35 minutes and 59 seconds for the 10K distance comes out to 5 minutes and 48 seconds per mile for 6.2 miles or 336 per kilometer for those 10 kilometers. So again, the absolute essential piece of the puzzle when it comes to running a fast 10K is to improve the body's lactate tolerance. Okay, that's why I always stress the importance of running more quality mileage rather than just worrying about how many kilometers per week you're running or how many miles per week you're running. It's not about the volume you're doing. It's going to be dependent, your overall success as a middle to long distance runner is really going to come down to the quality of the mileage that you're putting in. Okay, you can be doing 100 miles a week, and if you're running 97, 98% of that mileage at 2 to 3 minutes slower than 10K race pace, you're going to be extremely strong. Your endurance is going to be there. You're going to be extremely fit. But when you go up against an athlete that is running, say, 30 miles to 50 miles a week, and they're running 40% of their weekly volume at or below their anaerobic threshold, you're going up against an athlete that's just doing more quality work, and it's going to be much more difficult to outrun that athlete based on the fact that they're running more of their mileage at a higher percentage of their max heart rate. So I always stress the importance. If you want to run 35:59 for the 10K distance, really drill down on your leg development, your overall leg speed development, doing those repeat 800s, getting to a point where you can do repeat 800s at, say, threshold effort at around 245 to 248 range, okay? And getting to a point where once you're really anaerobically fit, you can do those repeat 800s at or around 2 minutes and 33 seconds to 2 minutes and 35 seconds per rep. Okay, again, early on, we need more rest in between each one of our intervals. And be patient when it comes to aiming for a sub 36 10K time, okay? It takes the body anywhere from 21 days to 4 weeks to adapt to any stress load you're placing on it. Okay, so when you're not very fit, everything is more difficult, okay? You're going to need more rest in between each one of your track intervals or your road intervals. Your splits per kilometer or per mile for each one of those reps are going to be much slower, and you're going to be in much more pain early on. But just trust the process. Trust the fact that with time, in a matter of several weeks, the body always adapts. Okay, your splits are going to get faster. You're going to not need as much time in between each one of your hard intervals. And that's the beauty of training at a higher intensity and staying on a consistent basis in terms of your preparation. Okay, don't just be lukewarm about it. You got to be all in. Okay, you're going after a very fast time. A sub 36 minute 10K time is going to take an athlete that is extremely driven, focused, and patient. Okay, a lot of times we're far too impatient. We want results too quickly, and then once we miss our goals or we don't run as fast as we want, as quickly as we want, we start to second guess ourselves. Okay, I know this 100% because over the years I ran into this trap myself. Okay, I understand the fact that you're driven. I understand that you want to break a sub 36 minute 10K time, but just know that it might take you 4 to 6 months in order to do it. It may take you a few iterations of a 4 to 6 month block of training before you break this time. Again, you're running 5:48 mile pace for 6.2 miles or 3:36 for 10 straight kilometers. So this is not an average time. Don't expect it to be easy. Don't lose your enthusiasm, okay? It's so important that you understand the fact that what you're trying to go after is a time that very few athletes achieve. There are many athletes that could just wish they could break, 40 minutes for the 10K, let alone breaking 36 minutes for the 10K distance. Okay, some key workouts I would be focusing on, especially if I was going after this type of time, would be doing 1 mile repetitions. And this is when you are very anaerobically fit. Okay, this is not the types of workouts you're going to be doing early on, like the first few weeks of a buildup. But you want to get to a point where you are eventually doing repeat miles on the track. I'd say between 4 to 6 1 mile repetitions on the track, anywhere from around 532 to 537 per rep. Okay, with early on, your reps might be 550 per rep, and your rest between each one of your repetitions might be around 4 minutes. But when you are ready to, when you are like in the middle stages of a 16 to 5 to 6 month buildup, you want to get to a point where you can do those mile reps with anywhere from 60 seconds to 90 seconds rest in between each one of those reps. Okay, in terms of the 10K distance, I've run 31:09 for 10K, 14:18 for 5K, 50:54 for 10 miles, 107:06 for the half, and 2:19:35 for the marathon. So again, those types of times, although they're decent, there are plenty of athletes out there that can run much faster than I did. But I came from running, starting as a 5:30 miler and an 11:30 2 miler as a high school freshman. Okay, so just know consistency and your pursuit of excellence and desire for success and going after a fast time like a sub 36 minute 10K is not going to happen overnight. Okay, you have to stick to your principles, and those, the fact that you're watching this far into the video already tells me that you are seeking excellence. You're not just seeking to be average. So doing those mile repeats down toward around 532 to 540 range when you're extremely fit is key. Okay, that's running at interval paces. And again, you don't start off this fast. It might be starting off doing repeats, like I said, around 550 to 552 per rep, and then gradually every 3 to 4 weeks, then start dropping about 10 seconds each rep. Okay, it might be 5 to 10 seconds each rep. Again, the fitter you get, the less rest you're going to need, and the faster your repetitions are going to be. Okay, as far as how much mileage you need to be running to run, in terms of how to run a sub 36 10K, again, focus on quality over quantity. Okay, I don't think that athletes really need to be doing more than 60 miles a week to break a sub 36 minute 10K. Again, there's athletes out there that can do it with about as little as 25 to 30 miles a week, but there's other athletes that will need to put in more volume. And most of the training plans that I have on RunDreamAchieve start around 30 miles a week, and they rise up to around 65 miles a week for 10K athletes. Okay, the longer the race, the more volume you need to be doing, but you also still have to focus on the importance of quality training. Okay, the Kenyans, the Ethiopians, the best Americans, your best local runners that you train and admire, these athletes, they're sustaining race paces longer than you, not specifically just because they're more talented than you. Okay, they're probably doing far more of their mileage at a higher percentage of their max heart rate. Okay, again, the best distance, middle to long distance runners are running anywhere from 35 to 40% of their weekly volume, training at very high intensities. So it's natural for them to hold and sustain race pace for a longer period of time and make it look easy. Okay, a lot of times it's just the fact that if you're having issues in the past to break a sub 36 10K, it could be your tempo runs haven't been as long as you need them to be. If it was me, and I did train for the 10K for several years, I would always work to get that tempo run out to around anywhere from around 7 to 10 miles in length. I always felt stronger when I was doing slightly longer durations in terms of my tempo runs. If they were a little bit longer than my race distance, that just made me feel more dangerous when it came to race time. And when I really started to drop volume, drop intensity, do that 10-day taper rather than the 3-week taper I talk about in my other videos. If you have not implemented that, start considering doing a 10-day taper rather than a 3-week taper. Okay, 10 days is plenty of rest time to recover from the hard training that you're doing leading into your goal 10K race. And a lot of times, a lot of athletes make the mistake of dropping volume and intensity too far out from their main event, and they go into the race feeling tired and just not rested. Okay, again, 10 days is plenty of time. The hardest part about doing a taper is the fact that you're so used to doing high volume and doing those workouts that you feel like you're getting out of shape when you don't run as much mileage or you don't do as many track sessions in those last 10 days. But I promise you, you've already put in the heavy work. So allow your body time to adapt and relax and recover from the hard training you're doing, and you will definitely have a higher percentage chance of you breaking the sub 36 minute 10K time. So I hope this video is helpful for you. Feel free to leave me a comment below. Like this video. If you can, I'd really appreciate that. It helps other athletes and non-athletes around the world to see these videos. Also helps with the YouTube algorithm. So I really appreciate that support, and I will talk to you all in the next video.